And Alison sends her apologies. She's dealing with some family issues, so she can't come today.
Okay.
But now that there's two of us, we can tag teams.
Oh, yeah, glad to have you.
Never be without the select board liaison.
I guess
Let's hope.
first thing on the agenda is introduction of a new member and select board liaison. Sophie,
So it's
welcome.
me. Thank you so much. So as you know, I was just elected in June to the select board. Enjoying it so far. And I volunteered to be the co-board liaison with Allison for the Cemetery Association. So this is my first meeting with you guys, and I'm delighted to be here, and hopefully I can be helpful.
Great, well, welcome. And Owen?
I'm Owen. I live in Camden, and I've done work with cemeteries, so just happy to help out with whatever experience I have.
Well, welcome. Next thing on the agenda is approval of September 22nd minutes.
Just a sec, can I just say, something? Sophie, do you know everybody here?
Yeah, let's do introductions.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thanks, Marlene. Yes. I know you.
John French. Hi, that's
Good to see you. Bob, I know, because he just introduced himself. Bruce.
Chip Late.
Owen.
I know you because you came to the select board.
Randy.
Randy. I know Marlene, and I know Judy.
Oh, I know.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Great. Anybody have any questions on the minutes?
No, it's good. Motion to approve.
Yep. All those in favor? All those opposed? So voted. Okay, anything on non-agenda items? The only thing I have is maybe we want to talk about in the future is maybe get serious about doing some survey and GIS mapping at Mountain View. I've spoken to the University of Maine Construction Engineering Technology Department. They may have some folks available for a capstone type project or maybe a summer internship for, doing some of this type of work.
Are you talking about identifying where the lots are that way or not?
Yeah,
GPS?
mapping,
Mapping.
just a mapping. It's not gonna be like a full-blown survey, because I don't think we want to get into that expense to do the boundary, but just kind of on the ground, what's there, where the granite monuments are, and that kind of thing.
I thought when Sid was here, we did quite a bit of that with some college kids that came in and they scanned all the stuff in and they were doing some of that stuff and doing locations. Did any of that get, remember? That was,
internal.
because we talked quite a while ago.
Was it for the cemetery?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, when Sid was on the board.
I heard tell that there's an internal, all the information is like accessible, but I think what?
Use the mic because we're live streaming.
Yes, ma'am.
And so everybody needs to hear you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And yet what Chip's talking about,
Oh, I know what Chip's talking about. I just wanted, I
Yeah.
was asking the question because I recall that we had done some.
And I'd heard that too, that Public Works had done something like that, or sewer department, or someone had gone out and we'd had this done, a base layer or something.
I can look into it, John. It was obviously before I was.
Well,
doing
Sid's been
this.
gone for a while, plus he was, so.
Well, there must be something in maybe
Yeah, I
the
remember we had
minutes
a
or
couple of
something.
college kids that came down for an intern for the summer. And they were doing, they were scanning everything
I
in
remember when it
digital.
was being done.
Yeah, so, but it was probably 10, 15 years ago,
Okay.
Okay.
a lot longer.
No, you can't grab your cup, Dave.
Sorry for interrupting.
We're gonna keep your cup.
Is it yours?
Yeah, can I grab that?
Sure.
Oh, no, I like this cup.
think-
I was-
really nice guy.
Backtracking, trying to find that thing.
I've been waiting for my cup since I joined the select board.
What would you like?
Is that your mask too?
You want me to get rid of that?
No, this one's
Is that a
mine.
biohazard now?
It is, I'll
So
take
you
it.
endangered my life.
I don't want you to get Robotron here.
Okay,
Hold on.
thank you.
Robotron, is that what you said?
Robotron.
Robotron.
All right, thank you.
Robotron sounds more fun.
So that'd be great if you take a look at those files and see what's available. Also, what kind of, do you have any software for the,
We have,
for all the graves up there?
We do have software, And I put that on the agenda to talk to you about that.
Okay. Okay. Because at one time, I know back when I was working for folks down the corner here, I was given certain funds to donate, and we bought a very nice software suite for tracking graves. At that time, it was not taken very nicely because it wouldn't interact with existing software. So it got put on the shelf someplace.
That probably
Happened.
will change.
But that was back quite a while ago, so.
Yeah.
And I know we have, at the town, we have the little elf now that we've used to give a GPS location for each one of the water storm drains. And so with the elf, it's really much easier to do geolocation and link everything to ArcGIS.
Yep, yep.
So what we need is labor.
Yeah, that's
So-
it.
So college kids, but I think the whole system, and we can link into the ArcGIS we have in town. would be-
Yeah,
it would be
and that's kind of
really
what I
cool.
was looking at,
Yeah,
is find out what we have for existing
Yep.
software, what we have for an existing counting system to dovetail so that it's one system, that we're not recreating the wheel, and see what we can do with figuring out if we could get someone in to do that. And so I want to start the discussion now, because when it happens, it may happen fairly quickly. I don't know what the cost would be. There again, I know if we went to Gatling Dorsey, it would be one number, but going this route would be another, so,
Okay.
okay?
But with the software we have in place, or have in the building, like you said, we need is some people that are willing to load it in, I think. I think it's that simple. But it's
We
been a
have
while.
everything in a program now,
Right.
so we have it in a program. The program is very outdated,
Yeah,
Gonna be updated?
not the one that we have.
Okay,
Yeah.
been too long.
It's been too long,
okay.
yeah.
Well, that's probably then we need to get some prices on a new updated system to start off the discussion.
But he's not looking at you.
I know, but he will eventually.
What? Oh, hi.
So I would love to see what shakes out of this conversation. I'm not sure if like the ArcGIS and what is used to track the culverts and drainage and stuff will work for this, because it's like taking all of the town's culverts and drainage and putting it in a one, what is
Yeah.
it, 10 acre, and it's just, it'll be like a big blur. And so possibly having to go that more cemetery specific
Yeah,
software.
and that's kind of what I was thinking, is something more,
But the-
that would integrate.
The only-
Would integrate with it.
What as far as like a survey, everything that you're talking about is great. I would love to also see if we can't overlay some of it with like property records and like where the markers and everything are and
Yep.
anything else.
But I think that's what we have now.
expansion, Property
I
disputes.
think
and-
that's what we have now. I think we have some of that information in our GIS system that shows the boundaries, and I know where we had some survey work done because of a property dispute.
Right.
That was resolved, so yeah, we've done some of that.
Doesn't it seem like we're constantly having weird property disputes around?
That was the last one, I believe.
Now, that was done.
That's
That
so
was-
we're good
that-
now.
That was just get kicked down the road, and that was just something that,
It ain't kicked down the road. It was done.
oh, we're done now.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
but
done.
it kept getting kicked down the road, for non-response, I think.
Well, the issue was that the line was technically closer to the cemetery, and there was, I think, at least 3 veterans' graves
Yep.
that were kind of on the line, so we needed to clear it up so that
Yep.
they'd be within the cemetery.
And we took care of that.
It's all taken care of.
Yep.
So, but for this piece of work, do we need to write a scope of work and start, because we can talk to different organizations, but if we, do we need a scope of work or a
No, I
document
don't
or
think yet. I don't
something?
think
Is
we're
it
at that
just-
point yet. I think we need to figure out what we have. What
Okay.
we have,
What is your final goal?
having a map and be able to identify, on a mapping system,
Digital.
digital mapping system on each grave, stone, so we can put in there when it was repaired, when it was updated, if there are any errors, and just be able to go track it that way.
Well, the other thing too is if somebody come into town on a weekend, they wanted to find a family member, maybe eventually they can go onto the website
Yep.
and find it, location versus waiting to
I know the
call.
library has some of that information.
What we have now, the program, when I go in and make updates in it, it will update the cemetery, it will update the libraries.
Okay, okay. So I know we got something there. Yes, sir.
When Sophie says, can we get, specifics so that when we look into it, who's the "we" that you're referring to specifically as a separate from the town organization? Do we have any resources allocated as far as staff time, or we have finances? And I assume this is our responsibility, but didn't know if,
There again, I don't think it's anything that we need to, it's not required, not necessary. It would be an awful good tool for us to plan, like we had the discussion about the trees. Where are those trees located? Which ones need to be replaced? Which ones need to be removed? Where are the shrubs? That stuff would be picked up on that type of map. And, it would help with some future planning. If it doesn't happen, it's not something that we need to do tomorrow, but it's just something that we need to be working towards.
I've got in my cemetery, every lot numbered,
Yep.
avenue numbered, the whole 9 yards, which makes it real nice, but if I need to call Bruce and have him go look at a
Yep.
stone, I can give him the lot number, the avenue number, he can go.
And we have that now, to some degree. The maps are extremely outdated. When were they done? 40s? 40s, yeah. So,
wait, that's just a little funny, because it's not like these people are up and moving around, so outdated doesn't really mean too much,
Yeah,
does
there's
it?
been a few people added to it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but.
yeah.
It's just transferring whatever resources used to map it and move it to the 21st century.
And get it in some type of a map that can be reproduced.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, if I think we get this all together, we could go through the town for a grant for a, what do you call them, intern, correct? Or two.
Then we figure out what we need and, yeah.
So,
Anyway, I just want to get that out there and just start talking about it, maybe get it on the next agenda.
Writing it up is always good.
I have a problem with markers. Because someone will come in and say, my father-in-law was in the Navy, and he should have an American flag. Now, who was your father-in-law? And I have to check that out. They take a marker off this one over here and put it on that one. I find a marker on one that I never had there before. And I've caught 2 or 3 people. I'm up there, Bruce will tell you, more than I should be probably. And I've caught people taking the marker when I'm out putting flags out. So I think we need to do this.
That we'd have it all mapped right out.
Yeah.
The Legion's got those, I mean, so annually they expense for.
I've put the Legion flags out
Yeah.
for 35 years on Oak Hill.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty familiar.
But I thought that we had extra markers, the holders, that if one got.
I have them every year. I put out anywhere from 15 to 20 new markers, and I just do Oak Hill
Yeah.
every year. Some people take them home,
The mowers?
the marker, and then they bring it back because they're afraid someone's going to steal it. We used to have a lot of brass markers.
Yeah.
We don't have many anymore because they took them. I got 3 of them when Shafter's Junkyard went out down to Rockland. I got 3.
Because they scrapped them?
Yeah.
Someone picked them up, stole them.
So the problem is the stealing of them, not necessarily that we don't have replacements.
No. It's a problem.
All of the above.
All of the above, right.
people steal them though when the recycled metal is high. Wow.
That's not an uncommon problem.
Well, I was at the office and you wasn't there.
Okay, so yeah, we can take a look at that too, but that's what helped, this was Mark, all those, and firefighters and things. That's the information that could go into all this mapping. Okay,
We still give the Legion money for help doing that? Used to be like 600 or 1,000,
It's 700.
700,
That's to buy flags, as you know.
flags and markers every year to replace them. Sorry, Chip.
stone restoration, Randy, you want to give us an update on that?
Sure. I had a conversation with Tom Stevens about 15 minutes ago, maybe. He was very pleased with the work they got done. They didn't get started until late in the fall, literally, because of the work ahead of them. They did not finish the first section yet. He tells me they will probably be starting second week of April, depending on if things dry out and if weather permits. He said he will have everything in that first section that we laid out done, with the exception of possibly a few stones that the trees are a problem. We're gonna need to make some decisions around the trees, root structure, whether we relocate the stones or whether we do away with the trees. He said all stones will be cleaned by Memorial Day in that section. And it will be up to us whether we want him to bleach them or not, or whether he's done in the past, like in Belfast, they cleaned everything, and then Steve Bogan came back and sprayed them down with D2. D2 works as well, but it doesn't, it's not an instant. You typically have to come back and clean them possibly a second time to really get the D2 to work. Depends on people's feelings on organic or non-organic cleaning, but,
But isn't that also supposed to be better for the stone, the older ones? I heard the bleach was, yeah, okay.
I don't know. Bruce could give you his opinion.
The D2 is better for the marble stones.
Yeah.
As far as the granite ones, you could use bleach, but
What about the limestone ones?
the D2 will do it better.
Limestone I would not touch with bleach. I don't know. What's your
And it
feeling?
depends on who's doing the cleaning also.
Yeah.
You don't really need to, the limestones are nice and smooth. That stuff comes right off. You don't really need to hit it with too much product on the slates.
He told
Slates,
me
limestones.
come springtime, he would go through the cemetery and give us a price to continue on, if we choose to have him continue on. And he'll actually give us a price to do the rest of the cemetery. He said at this point, he does not believe he would be able to finish the rest of the cemetery in the year 2022, just because there's so many towns reaching out to him. But there is a possibility, but he said I wouldn't hang my hat on it at this point, just because he's trying to keep a bunch of communities happy. So I told him anything they could do would be great, but I'm pleased to hear that they're gonna have everything done by Memorial Day on that section, and that's the goal. And at that point, we should also have some kind of a price quote, so hopefully before they get done. I told him I kinda like to keep them right here, but he can't promise that at this point. He may have to come back later in the summer or early fall and pick up and keep going after that. But, that's where he is. I've been pretty pleased with the work they've done to date. They've done a lot of work up there. There's always room for improvement, but as I told him, once we get done, it would be nice to try to create some kind of a maintenance plan so we can keep up with it moving forward.
Okay,
Would
great.
be the ultimate goal.
Good, thank you. Those trees, some of those, you're gonna have to take a look at whether, maybe get some of your input on that, whether we go ahead and stand the stones up and relocate them more into the grave and leave away from the tree, which I think on some of them, we might wanna do, because the roots are growing right around them. Gonna have to take a chainsaw and cut the stones out of the roots, stand them up and move them a little bit. And then there's another one that I think we just cut the tree, so, but if we do that, we're gonna remove the stump. So, Take a look at that, and when things thaw out in the spring, go from there.
There's a lot of fugitive trees growing where really trees should not be. And at some point, we just need to make a decision,
Yep.
either trees or shrubs. I mean, there's a bunch of old growth lilac up there that have probably seen better days, but
Yeah.
a lot of that is really at the end of the project.
Yep.
Where you go through and really do the final cleanup,
Yep, okay.
in my opinion.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
At one of the meetings that I went to, there were the select board was taking up committee appointments for this. I think it was B.D. Parker. And I think when you and I chatted about it, I think nobody had a full understanding. So, this committee was not trying to cut every tree down and,
Right.
It's a misunderstanding. One thing that I'm curious about is going forward, does it make sense when we get onto the topic of trees, shrubs, et cetera, that we hash out what we think we want and then we try to work with the town's tree warden? One, it's the right thing to do, but two, it kind of gives us cover for folks from the community that look at the cemeteries and like they have certain feelings around it, that we're at least availing ourselves of some of this other professional town input, or does that make sense?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, what we've done basically up to now is we've been reacting to dead and dangerous trees. Last year we spent, $16,000 to take down dead trees. They're up there, better than a week and a half, with a 90-foot limber and picking out all the dead wood out of some of those trees and cutting and chipping, and they did a lot of work. So it's reactionary kind of thing. The other thing, the shrubs, is we had, and the reason, and I think got misunderstood, we didn't want to clear cut all the trees and shrubs, but we had a number of shrubs that were overgrown, have not been maintained by the family. It's not really our responsibility to maintain those. They need to be taken out. It's obvious that they've overgrown, and there's a number of them up there, and to go ahead and for us to track down each lot owner and to ask them to take care of it doesn't make any sense. So we kind of put out the notice, hey, we're gonna look at these on an individual basis. Everyone's notified that we're gonna be removing some.
Do we have standing regulations on the size, diameters, or anything else on trees or shrubs that are allowed?
Yes, right now,
We don't
allow any.
They planted.
I mean, that's what, and right now, because it had been such a problem in the past, that we stopped it all.
I mean, I'll say my cemetery, anything over 6 feet, either we trim them back
Yeah.
or we trim them down all the way.
Yeah.
Because if not, they just get out of control.
Yeah.
And I have yet to have a complaint. So people think they're doing the right thing. They look great for a few years.
Yep.
But without maintenance, like you said,
Yep.
it just gets crazy.
And when families don't take care of those shrubs and the cemetery association does take care of it, do we charge them for this? Or is just a service that we provide?
It's part of the maintenance.
Part of
They're
it's part of
basically,
their
they've
maintenance
overgrown, so
fee.
we can't maintain it, so that's why we put the notice out there, just kind of a broad brush. Put everyone on notice that we may be doing this, not that we will, but it may happen, so.
Yeah, but a lot of times it's not that they neglected it, the families just died off over the generations and it
Right.
just, there's no one left to do it anymore.
That I understand.
Right, so kind of, that's why a lot of them are that way.
So does that mean that we should try to reach out to the tree warden to ask about?
If we have specific
Because everything
trees-
you said makes complete
Yeah, right.
sense. It was more of a, based on what I've observed from perception around the
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
That us integrating in someone like the tree warden.
Yeah, I mean, if
into-
we were gonna take down a bunch of trees, yeah, we'd probably want to contact the tree warden but there again, we haven't been, unless it's pretty obvious. And then it's just maintenance. We use a licensed arborist, Who's the tree warden now?
Dave Saint Laurent.
Oh, okay.
Who?
Dave Saint Laurent.
Public Works Director.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you. My hearing's terrible, guys. so I apologize.
From here.
Wow, come on. Of all the different, that's good though.
I mean, I have to use it. I have to
10
use
points.
it.
The grub treatment, we're going to have a second round, I think, in the spring here, as soon as things thaw out a little bit. And I'll let you know when I hear from them on that.
We have to do a lot of replanting after that's over.
I reseeded a bunch myself, just by hand. You know, that was all part of it, is top seeding some of those areas. Biggest problem we have up there with those areas being bare is the mowing. The turning those zero-turn mowers on the side of a hill, cutting it down too close where there should be weed whacking, they're running it with a mower. And those are issues that we probably ought to have a meeting sometime, maybe the next meeting with Parks and Rec, and talk about specifics on the mowing.
Yeah, but if we are successful in fixing the graves themselves, maybe they'll be smoother, hopefully,
Yep.
that they won't have the unevenness.
Yep. I mean, that's another whole project as far as leveling.
I know,
leveling those
but it's
lots.
gonna have to be done eventually, because those roads are a mess.
Yep, let's just chip away at it.
I know.
Yep. Okay, that, paving, there again, it's, that's just on the agenda, we got a price approximately 35,000. I talked about the last time as a non-agenda item. Just as a ballpark, it, talked to Dave, and the price is like $85 per ton, for the asphalt. And of course, there'll be some prep work and things, so
Are you talking about the left side or the new roads on the right?
new roads on the right, two avenues.
Do they have
Is
to
that
base?
bid,
Yeah, Dave bids the, per year, he bids the asphalt pricing.
The town bids it.
Town bids.
Town bids it. Yep, yep.
So they got a price per ton to lay down the asphalt. So Performance Paving was low bidder for this calendar year,
Yeah.
for this fiscal year.
So does that need something done before the tar is put down as far as the base, or does it go right over what you do?
no, you gotta
There's
put,
plenty of base there, there's plenty inch minus, just needs to go in and pick up the sod.
Okay.
Clean the grass back.
Was it about a 20-foot avenue you're gonna do?
Yeah. 14 feet,
14?
12 feet, 12 feet, just
One lane, yeah.
just one lane. Yes.
The timing around that, I mean, if it needs to get done in whatever, do your thing, I'm just curious. I know it's bumpy. Is there the flexibility to see if, I know 52 goes up there, so that's the state and you can't really piggyback on them. If the town's doing any paving and we could piggyback on them.
We are, this is, the paving price is,
Right,
Is
but
the
the se- and I was,
is the con-
so
is that-
it sounds like you're on it.
that's the
but,
contract, that's the
you know, they
contract price.
stayed right there by
Oh.
the tannery, and if we can catch when they're doing another project, so it sounds like that's exactly what you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, and
working.
it's,
Okay.
they're so mobile that you'll spend more time talking about it than it would take them to move in and do it. I mean, you know, that's what, you know, they'll show up in the morning, unload, and be done.
Perfect.
So, okay. As soon as we have a little more, get that ironed out a little more, we'll get a firm price and bring it back to committee and vote on it. Okay, next thing is drainage. Got some drainage issues up there, mostly on that lower part.
Little part we've had for years, and I don't know how you fix it.
There was a ledge in there,
No ledge.
no ledge.
It's just a big bowl. All the rain runs off the mountain, ends up right in that one. little
Where are
spot.
you, Mount View or Oak Hill? You-
Mount View.
Okay, so you just went drainage, you know.
Remember when you came over and we were talking about the mapping?
Yeah.
It was basically I mean, I want everyone to be able to find great granddad, great grandma with ease, mobile, or find you the sexton, but it was as expansion of Mount View is limited and the areas that you could develop seem to have some of these issues.
Yep.
That was why on the mapping and understanding contours, features and things like that to try to see what we
Yeah,
can do
no,
to make that more
th-
usable.
This is a different,
But where that comes down over the upper level down to where there's no stones where it comes down over, if I recall, right?
this terrace.
Not until it gets down to that next terrace.
Correct, well, there's out there with Spada,
Right.
Spada, that's a bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, that whole
So
area,
I was thinking you couldn't put in like a French drain, a system where, just below where that slopes down and try to catch the water and
ran
bring
over the hill by the road, come up the side of the road, and then tee off in there, but you're gonna have to
You'd have
stop.
to be pretty deep.
Sparta's the last, there's another tier that goes down that nothing's developed, but Sparta's the last stones, aren't they?
No.
No, it's kind of in the middle.
They're the ones that have the raised walls. The three raised walls, okay.
That's where Harold was, I think it was, wasn't it?
Pretty
That
close.
same place.
Nino, used to be Nino's shop right here.
Yep.
I remember I took my bow and arrow and I stuck an arrow with a suction cup on the ceiling one day. He didn't like
With
that,
the
right?
bow, or did you
So
throw
they had a
the?
suction cup,
Okay.
a suction cup on the little arrow when I was a kid.
Now I'm curious.
But this was just a little barber shop in here,
Right here?
right here.
Yeah, I remember.
Police department was over here.
Is this what the Jones boys say was their inspiration for going to the barber shop in Lewiston?
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
We're getting off, digressing, as I say.
Anyway, so
Used to
yeah,
be a
The best
barber
meeting to
school
learn
in
about
Lewiston.
town. Mhm. Excellent.
But I think that's something that definitely needs to be looked into, because that's pretty,
yeah. Maybe we can get with Dave. I mean, Dave's the town engineer, so.
he was just here, we could
Yeah.
have sat him down.
Yeah, no, I
And the
think.
tree warden.
Yeah, so it's something, we look at him to do that and maybe plan out something. See what we can do to drain that whole area. Say, we'll
You
have,
gotta be careful though, because I know there's some issues with water coming down that Gould Street, Grove Street, and then having trouble all the way down, all the way up back from where Donnie Ross's place used to be. I know they're getting water problems,
right,
so.
but there's a storm drain down the bottom of the hill.
Yeah,
probably
but
have
I'm
to
just thinking
tie-
though, if you move it to the sides, you could be making a worse
Yeah.
problem for the.
No, I know
residents.
that there was another issue up the hill. But yeah, we'd have to tie it into probably the storm drain system and it would go right overboard.
And Jeff owns the land next door to that.
Oh, we can put it in Jeff's parking lot.
There you go. He'll love it.
He's not here, so he
Yeah.
can't defend himself.
So, yeah, but we can look at that, and that's something that'd be planned out. So, I'll talk to Dave.
Is it all right, sorry for going backwards, but on the mapping GIS stuff, Leticia at the county, and
Yep.
it's weird because we're not the town, but she really is a standout as far as county GIS
Yep,
stuff.
yep.
Like, we got a great, and I got a good relationship with her.
And
Happy
I've
to
seen
reach
some of it,
out.
she's done some links.
And if we can get an intern,
Yeah.
coupling the intern with Leticia, she'd
Yeah.
be able to really get it moving quicker. So I'll let her know and just see if she's got any thoughts
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah, and I'll see if I can find that link that she had for that, some of that overlay.
That COVID thing that she built?
No, this was, she did something for
She
the
did a great
cemetery.
COVID thing too, really quick.
Okay. Cemetery program. Melanie?
Yeah, I had just wanted to, what, you kind of talked about it a little bit under non-agenda, but the cemetery program we have now is a access program. The person, it was put in when Carol Sue was here, and it worked great for what we needed at the time. The person in Thomaston is the person that services it. It's his program. He's really good about getting back when you need things and whatever, but we really have outgrown it because, you know, if you go in and make a change, you have to go into a couple of places to do it, and it just is time to have.
What does the town use for the general software?
Trio, and they don't have anything.
don't have a
I've already reached
cemetery?
out to them.
They don't have a cemetery program?
And they don't.
Okay.
So if it was something that you would think about, down the road getting, I could reach out to like maybe Portland or some other places to see what they
Yeah.
use for their software.
Yeah, it'd be great to find out what other programs are out there.
Mm-hmm.
There again, I think the key is making sure that it was integratable with our accounting software somehow, if need be.
I don't know.
So that's the trouble I ran into before, is we went out and got a great system, but I was even up to the point of donating another computer, just standalone, just cemetery. That didn't go good either, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it would.
I don't
Put it
think
on
there's
the
really
cloud now.
necessarily a need for it to integrate with Trio.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before, it was integrating with the sale of the lots and all that.
Yeah,
I've never heard of anything like
Okay.
that. There probably is something, but for Camden,
Yeah.
see
I don't
the
think it's
need.
big enough. We don't,
no, for what we sell
Yeah.
for lots, it's not like a big thing to have.
okay. Yeah, we'd need to go with a canned
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
And then something that our existing software that I think the library has and you have can be slid right into,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
without having to manually. Yeah, okay.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, see what you can find and let us
Okay.
know. Okay, 2023 grave and cremation fees.
Quick question. How do we classify or what determines a resident versus a non-resident? Is this for Camden residents only, or is this?
Camden resident, Camden resident.
Camden.
Yep.
Does that make, you gotta be a voter or just a taxpayer?
Normally, they would have to, we go with taxpayer,
Text.
because it gets too difficult. I mean, people are gonna use that they're a resident if they're a taxpayer. So,
I'm not a taxpayer, I'm a resident.
but then they can show, they can show us proof, a license or registration or something like that. We would make them show us.
Again, I'll refer back to the cemetery I run in Lincolnville. The problem we run into is we had a number of board members who were non-residents of Lincolnville, but they're residents of the state of Maine. You know, because of family members, they represented family members, so we included a resident to be anybody in the state of Maine, and then non-residents being non. It just made it much easier and cleaner to try to differentiate, so I just was curious how you did.
We haven't any trouble, have we?
No, and we kind of follow a little bit like what the harbor does also. I mean, they have to have, they have a taxpayer or that you.
Or voter
yeah.
registry.
If it's working, great.
Yeah, it
I'm
does,
just curious
yeah.
how that was
Yeah.
established, is all.
I can see why you do it that way too, though.
We, in Rockport, when, Seaview Cemetery, because it's very desirable, it's surrounded by Camden and it's beautiful.
Which Seaview?
Uh,
I com-
surrounded by the
Bayview,
Belties
yeah.
off of Bayview Street. It's in Camden, but it's Rockport Cemetery.
There's two Seaviews in Rockport, just so you're aware.
Well, the one that's surrounded by Camden.
The other one's in Glen Cove, I think.
That's Rockport.
Yeah. So there's actually two in Rockport, right? The one at the end of Bayview, is that, where's the Camden mine? Rockport mine.
It's surrounded by Camden. It's, the property itself is Rockport though, the cemetery. And because of, because it used to be the same town. Camden,
I see what-
Rockport.
I see what you
and-
mean.
Yeah, back in the day. And then, because a lot of folks were wanting to be buried there, and a lot of folks maybe came and had retirement houses up here, we were finding that many people wanted to, and we didn't have a good expansion plan, so we put a moratorium on and limited it based on residency, but we were really strict and not broad, but it was because we were finding space was very limited. And I don't know if that's the case around any of these ones, but that's a time where being more strict and less broad seems to make sense, but I'm the new guy, so I don't know if we're there yet or not.
Mount View, we are.
Mount View is full.
Mount View is full.
Mount View is full.
But if we got the water stuff figured out and went down the hill more towards,
There's a few at the bottom of the hill, but I don't bother to sell them because they are so wet.
Now that, there is an area, getting back on that, there is an area up there where it's low, it could be, was it columbarium?
Yeah,
We're gonna put some columbariums down there, which I think we might wanna look at in the future down there, before selling any more lots.
Yep.
But make a nice area to put, 2 or 3 units and expand, be able to expand that for cremations. But there again, that's another project that, we got quite a bit on the plate right now.
I don't know if you've kept up at all, but Rockport had been working on a columbarium for Seaview specifically to address that issue, and I don't know if they got more recent data that might help on the,
That'd be great if we could have some of that data. And I had, who was it, Carol, was it Carol Greenleaf? Was it, who was it over there that had the cemetery?
Linda,
Linda.
Greenlaw?
Greenlaw, yeah.
Linda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she would have that information. I would
Yep,
think.
yep.
You want to check, see if you can
Yep,
get
yep,
some of
and
that?
Ken McKinley was working on that too.
Okay.
Very expensive
And that's,
for the number of graves.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, and it's when space constraints are one of the bigger, so it's a big, and you got a plan on it too. I mean, the one we're looking at in Rockport, I think around or in excess of the $100,000.
Yep.
No, maybe it wasn't that much. Maybe I made
It's
that up.
not cheap. but
No, it's not
I
cheap.
know Julie and I had a few discussions around
That one in Augusta, the Veterans Cemetery, where they've got a series of raised columbariums. I'd only been up there in the last 2 years or something. It's beautiful. They did a really good job.
Most of it's having a plan. I mean, getting a design that we're satisfied with. Once we get that and an area to put it, then we can decide, okay, if we want to pull the trigger on it, what kind of investment we got. So, if we plan for it now, at least we'll have some of that information and, something we can work towards. Okay, budget.
Are you doing cremation rates?
Basically, I just want to say that Ben Pratt said he wants to go up
Oh, okay.
$25 for his grave, so that's kind of a budget issue.
Okay, for digging.
For the full graves, yes.
Okay. So
So it's $625 for a coffin and or $725 on the weekend, right? For the crew 50 cremation? Correct.
oh, these are the new prices in here?
I gotta get my glasses, I can't even see it.
No, those
Have
are
it
the
in
current
there.
prices.
Oh, they go up $25.
Okay.
Yeah, for the-
Actually, I was kind of thinking
But
to
he
go
was
up
going up
25 for
$25.
the cremations
for
also.
digging.
I haven't gone up for 10 years,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay.
And what is it, 3 cremations to a lot now?
4.
4 now?
It's always been 4.
I thought it was 3. Okay.
4 to the lot, but only 2 stones
Correct,
per lot.
correct.
So if you had 4 people in there, only 2 of them would have stones.
Well, you put 2 names on one
Put
stone.
2
Yeah.
names on
Well, husband, wife. Yeah, yeah.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Exactly, I want to be buried with all my husbands. Well, not one, the
I'm
first one
sorry,
technically
I'm
no.
just gonna, I've never seen a boyfriend, girlfriend. What cemetery? All the cemeteries. You got a boyfriend, girlfriend in your cemetery?
He doesn't know.
Got no boyfriend, girlfriend buried next to each other.
It's 2022, Owen, get on with it.
Like Romeo and Juliet, end of the story.
A
you
motion
know?
on that?
So moved.
All those in favor? All those opposed? So voted.
Shapes that mausoleum in anyway.
What, the Montgomery? Oh, you mean
Up
the
at Oak Hill, Mount View.
view? You mean the tomb?
I was gonna bring that up also. I think, I was up there the other day looking, and the trim, we probably should have somebody look at replacing some of that trim around the top. Just getting,
How's the roof on it?
roofs looks good still.
What is it, wood shingle or asphalt?
No, it's kind of a slate, cement composite
Okay.
type stuff. It's been on there for 25 years.
Foundation, all that for the buildings, good?
Still all good, yeah.
Maybe we put that on the next agenda, take a look at that and be able to come back, maybe with some ideas or proposal on what we want to do.
Yeah. But
Why is that hold anyway?
15, 20.
They're really
I think if it's- But we don't get that many anymore.
Yeah,
If we
so
get 7 or 8, we're doing good.
cremation is now the big thing, yeah.
Is there anybody in there now?
Just one.
I got a
85%.
question.
Is it really?
There was work done to the entrance over there just the other day, and like the little curved arch wooden door was removed from the brick, and then some work done to it, and then it was reinserted back into the brick. And I almost want to say it was someone on the fire department that also did the work. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is they were doing wood trim affixed to masonry. And I thought it was someone
Probably
like,
Clint Beverage.
no, but it wasn't Clint. I know Clint.
Oh, okay.
Little red Toyota truck.
Oh, I saw that out here.
Yeah, and his hat looked like it was a Camden firefighters. Anyway, I thought that maybe we had recently been engaged with someone doing light construction adhered to masonry, and that might be a person we want to loop in on that. Because I thought, for some reason, I thought that they worked for the town in addition to what they were doing, but
I'll find out, yeah, I'll find out who it was.
We haven't received any type of bill for it.
Not
Well,
yet,
they're gonna want to check, you'll find out that way, right?
yeah.
it was the code office entrance, not this one, not into the hallway, but the last one down. He had the whole wooden insert removed and laid down, and
Oh, so
was,
you're talking right over here?
Yeah.
yeah, right in
Oh,
the
I thought you were talking
building.
about the cemetery.
I'm sorry.
Okay, okay.
Someone doing work for the town on this building was doing wood to masonry adhering, and where this is wood to stone.
Well, no, actually, it's just wood to wood.
It's just wood to wood?
The
Oh,
roof
and
is,
you know, then I just wasted everyone's time.
They got us lost before you started, so not bad.
And all that are lost. We're moving on, John.
Okay, great, thanks, Owen. Okay.
Will we meet before their budget stuff? Do we have a chance? Are we voting on this? What's the?
No, I think we just review right now is,
We're just here to try and come up with a draft.
yeah, there's just a draft budget so we can mull it over and just so it doesn't come to the wire.
Beautiful.
And then try to save everyone a little time on the other end, right?
Correct.
So the town's gonna put the 50 grand back? No?
Probably not.
Wow.
But I don't have a final say, so.
All that money you're making and
All
can't,
that money that the cemetery's making?
no, the town.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, your financials are great.
COVID.
COVID.
You almost got $2 million in here. The one that's 1.7.
Owen, that was back July, that
go
number,
quick.
so it's probably over that now.
You guys drunken sailors? Oh, over that now. Thank you. I thought you were spending.
Some of it's just interest only too, right? It's not.
Interest and income, yeah.
It's
So-
there, but it's not.
Right. So, yeah, these, now I already have just the Oak Hill investment performance in the book.
You should have, you don't have the revenue and the expense?
No, I got the expense and the revenue, but I don't have the investment performance.
Oh, you don't have that one?
I printed off my own, but
Oh.
it's on the book. So, yeah, looks like it did pretty good. But this was as of July 1st, correct?
So the most recent update would be through November of 2021.
Yep.
So the budget, the total for Mount View is 1.7 million. And for Oak Hill is 605,000. I didn't have the December numbers in time
Okay,
to put
okay,
it on.
okay,
so-
no, it just says,
The bottom number on the right.
Okay, so those bottom numbers are November numbers?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the top number is what we were at July 1st.
No, just, it says 6/30/22 number, that's all, ending
Yeah,
balance.
it sort of just populates all the way down. Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'm missing a piece.
Are you missing one?
Yeah, so I have Mount View Cemetery.
Well, I got Oakfield, and I don't have Mount View.
I only have Mount View.
You can have copies.
Okay, that's why you probably emailed it to
You
me.
guys need Oak Hill, right?
Well, I got Oak Hill,
why
but
is there
not
a
Mount
loss?
View. She's got Mount View, not Oak Hill.
There you go. Copy them all. Copy them both.
Trusts.
Correct. These are the trust funds that go into the big investment policy.
They're all mingled in with the town stuff, right?
But why is
With
there a
the-
loss? With the fees
The-
and the withdrawal. I see.
Withdrawals.
It's not a loss, okay,
No,
because,
no,
yeah, it's like everything is up. I mean, 2021 was a spectacular year. We
Right,
shouldn't
but
lose.
we took quite a bit
It's the
out
withdrawal, I get it.
for the stone restoration,
Right.
and we took out more than we have in the past for the maintenance, so.
So the only thing that I'd like to make note for, in the expense side of the proposed budget would be the electricity line. We obviously are gonna be seeing an increase in rates, and that might be something you guys will wanna look at. It's not gonna, it wouldn't be a huge increase, based on what you guys do spend, but I would definitely look into bringing it up to maybe $600 from $400. Just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Anyway, we can get to that.
What's up there for power anyway?
Well pump on,
Pump for the basement.
pump for the basement, the tomb. Then Oak Hill, we got the well.
Yeah.
And that all carries a basic, meter fee.
Yeah.
And minimal usage.
Put some solar panels up there.
Town's got solar panels.
Oh, yeah. The trees are over budget, all right.
Yep.
So do you want to accommodate this in the next budget? Because it's like almost 5 times.
If you guys want to, we can. Basically, at the end of the year, if there is a surplus based on revenues and expenses, then we.
You true it up.
And if not, then we have to replenish the town. So it's pretty much like we start July 1st
Yeah.
and.
And see, that tree line was, we had a lot of storm damage. Then once we're in there, we found a
They
lot
should
of
be
rotten
together
stuff,
there,
so
Randy.
we went ahead and did it instead of, so, yeah.
First
We
two.
had an earlier conversation that we may need to remove more trees. So
No.
No.
We've done the.
Done with the trees,
We've
it's
done the
the-
trees,
it's the
that was
bushes.
just shrubs and.
Shrubs, okay, okay.
Just keep handing them down.
With this,
Take the top, Joe.
yeah. There we go, we do them on an individual basis, and the biggest thing I have a problem with is we need to make sure we take care of the stumps. Once we take a tree, we need to grind the stumps
Grind the
down
stumps.
and re-landscape it, otherwise the stumps just sit there. And that gets expensive.
It goes until June.
That's how I do the chart.
So you have Oak Hill, you need Mount View,
I got Mount View right here.
and I have Mount View and I need Oak Hill.
Okay.
You want me to do, I give it,
There's Oak Hill.
all right,
I got Mount View now.
and that's, okay.
Okay, so we're
Thank
good.
you so much.
Is are these year-to-dates, it says FY '22 year-to-dates? I'm only basing this on the part-time wages line and that you seem to hit the budgeted amount. So I'm assuming that the year-to-date is a third through the fiscal year, roughly? What is the date on our,
What you're seeing year-to-date, I think it's through,
June or July?
well, this goes through till June. So what you're seeing for year-to-dates is, I think I did this report beginning of January.
Okay.
So this was through about half the year. The part-time wages is actually a monthly stipend. It's not based on hourly wages or anything. The sexton gets that. So that's just a set monthly fee, monthly stipend. And the same is true with the admin support. It's just a set fee, set amount every week.
Thank you.
Yep. So the only thing I'd like to make note of with the wages and the administration support, the town general fund, we are proposing a 5.9% COLA. So the numbers that, I have two sets of numbers if you want. We can go with what is current and what FY '22 is, or if you want to apply the 5.9% COLA to the Sexton and to the administration support, I have those numbers as well.
Okay. I think for the budget, we'd want to include those.
Okay.
Does everyone else think?
You doing 5.9?
5.9.
It's based on the Social Security Administration that comes out in January, their COLA.
I know the county does the August CPIW number, so I didn't know how.
Yeah, we do the most latest, which I think
Next year.
January was 7%, but we're going at 5.9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what, for the 23? Because,
FY '23,
so 5.9?
yes.
Okay.
So you're still 1.1 below January inflation. But when you look at the inflation rate, it's not a 7% annual.
Is that going to be townwide, 5.9?
Proposed 5.9.
That's pretty much what the county was too.
County just spends.
And I just spoke with Rockport today, and they're looking at 7.
It went 7 and 9
Yeah.
and more 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago.
For what?
The whole county.
As far
We're not going in
as
that.
wages or what?
Wages.
So I stuck in the 5.9 for those two positions. So if you guys want to move on to miscellaneous. This is basically miscellaneous.
Maybe I'll get back on the budget.
Yes, good old days.
I can't, I have to have a year off. Right?
I've had enough
Yeah.
of budget, Judy.
Miscellaneous is 400.
Yeah, so in miscellaneous for this year, we've been spending money on advertisements in courier publications. We bought some supplies, binders, and we have a small purchase at Rankin's for $7. So that's what we've spent so far this year, and we've spent almost $350.
What do you advertise for? Come
Answer that.
buried here?
I'm very,
The
When,
best place in town to bury buried, or what?
yeah,
No, the public notices for the
For
tree,
the
the
tree
ordinance,
and
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
notice.
Yeah.
and we do every year, twice a year, when flowers need to be removed
That's
for
fine,
cleaning.
that's fine. I
Yeah.
just didn't know we were advertising that for bring, come on down type thing.
Oh, no.
Where does the garden maintenance come out of for Oak Hill?
The Memorial Garden?
Yeah.
That's a separate, that's not in this fund.
Okay,
It's
okay.
its own
Okay,
special
okay,
revenue.
good.
The Irene Lake?
Yep, yep,
Yes.
yep. Okay, because I do have an estimate for a budget on that
Okay.
for next year.
Yep,
You know, $4,600 for that.
yep. Because, so whatever we spend out of,
Yep.
for anything having to do with that
out
Memorial
of that.
Garden, we'll pull
Okay,
it out of
perfect. Yep.
the trust, yep.
Oak Hill. Right.
Is grave repurchase when someone purchases a grave and then prior to utilizing that, they say, I changed my mind?
Yep.
That's interesting.
We purchase it back for what they paid for it, right?
At the time, yeah.
Yep, not for what we would, you know.
I
sell
just,
it for.
I guess I never really, thought that was one of those like really deliberative decisions that you don't really change your mind on.
That's with mine, whole thought, but.
Yeah, but you get remarried, you move to a different area, you know.
New boyfriend, apparently, you know.
I bought a lot this year. The people that originally bought it, they decided mother wanted to be buried in New York, so they decided to go to New York. They decided to sell the lot back. so, you know, you do get them now and again. Or people bought a 20 by 20 lot and then realized we really don't have a need for that much, so they sell back half, three-quarters, whatever it is.
Interesting.
So it does happen.
No, it seems to happen more than I guess I just never had exposure to it.
And there again, I think Mountain View's at a point that this mapping would help go back and determine, okay, you know, do we have in this lot, a 6 grave lot, I mean, are there 6 graves there, you know, or are there 4? You know, go from there.
Do we do in the US staggered, like,
One on top of the other?
yeah,
No, don't think so, no.
no. Well, here with the ledge, it would be
We get
hard.
down 4 feet deep, we're doing pretty well.
So Jody, currently.
We do 3.
Mountain View Cemetery, if I'm reading your numbers right, we're approximately $14,000 less than what we were last year.
Which, what are you
With all the
referring
work, you know,
to?
the money we
The
spent.
performance?
Overall, yes, in performance, I guess is the word.
Okay, Mount View? Right, from July 1st through until the end of November. Yes.
And we haven't had much for bills probably since November.
Are you looking at this?
That's investment,
Yeah,
that's
look at
an investment
investments.
portfolio.
That's
what
a
we-
totally different fund.
But there's a withdrawal,
Right, that's to fund, that was to fund FY '22, that was voted on
okay.
by the association to help fund the operating budget that we're voting on today. And then the $3,300 is a biannual fee for our investment advisor.
Right.
So, yes.
I'm just saying, right now, it looks like we've only dropped by $14,000.
Correct.
After everything we went through last year.
Yep.
That's a pretty good feeling for the amount of work that's happened to date.
That's a heard.
Anything about that, Molly?
What was
Town
that?
Contract with mowing, is that gonna go up?
Beth has not said anything. Has she said
Well,
anything
we-
to you when you're speaking?
Actually, the draft budget for the cemetery is down. So I've put in, for the town maintenance contract, 44,600.
But you gotta factor in that 5.9 COLA too, right, now?
That's
because-
already factored in. We've had staff changing
Okay.
in that department,
Yeah,
and based on what they need for health insurance and all that, it changed. So that's the preliminary,
So
and
the
that's from the department head, so it's pretty,
the numbers are
so,
down.
yeah.
for the town cemetery maintenance line, yes.
So that I'm tracking on this, your line 3052, town maintenance contract, this had 58,000 and you're saying I can sub in for 44,600? For a placeholder?
That you could sub in?
I thought that that's, maybe I misheard it.
No, so this contribution of 44.6 will pay for the town to maintain the cemeteries, mow, clean up and all that. That's the cost that it would be.
And so this FY '23 budget line that's blank,
Yep,
that's where I'm putting in
Correct.
44,600?
yep,
46,400.
Right.
44.6,
Right.
yep.
And so the
26.4.
reason that I asked that is I recall in, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but it was like, hey, mower, and the town wanted to grab money, and I don't know how exactly it was resolved, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm just kind of curious on,
Resolve unilaterally.
It was.
well, and so as we move forward with our lives, we look for opportunities to build good relationships. And so I'm just kind of curious if there is any potential with this gain for the cemetery committee that we might recognize our relationship with the town and take any of these potential savings for reserve account for mowers or vehicles. I don't know. I just am curious. if
That's all
there's a
part of
way-
their,
It's all part of the
that's-
contract.
right, they have maintenance and everything factored into their,
And
It's
I guess
already
that's the
there.
nature of the question. I mean, you're smarter than I am, so feed me, you know.
And the good thing is, when we have a purchase of a mower or some piece of equipment, we're able to share that cost between the cemetery and Parks and Rec. So it's even at a lower cost. So,
About 10 grand now for one of them circled.
All of which makes sense. It was only just
Yeah,
trying to
so,
figure out
you know,
if
been a while.
we can
Yeah.
keep the budget good and flat and yet take any of these potential savings that would have dropped it and put it in a reserve that anticipates the future
well, the
unknown.
beauty of this particular piece of the puzzle is that the reserve is really the trust funds, which are very healthy.
Yes.
We do the reserve thing on the town side. It helps us to keep the budget flat, and you're right. And that's obviously, definitely a decision if the committee wants to do that.
But also where we've had like tree overruns and those types of things, you don't know what you're in.
We budget the best we can with what we have to work with, and stuff happens, and we deal with it.
Oh, it seems like a great group for the flexibility because of the access to resources. Just, I'm new in certain things, conversations about cleaning a stone, I'm like an expert. Other things I'm gonna ask questions because I don't know what the heck.
I'll just say $44,000 for the maintenance, mowing, cleanups. We're getting a good deal.
Wicked. That's why I'm like, can't we, you know, put something aside? But
Yeah, no, you're getting a good deal.
the trust fund, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, when we have to share, we pony up and take care of it.
So going back up, would you guys prefer if we just go line for line down through?
Yep.
Okay, so we're at miscellaneous right now. And we've spent about $350 on, like I said, the ads and office supplies for the committee and
If $1,000 should probably stay there because you never know
where
what
are
it's
you?
there for, right? 1,000.
Under miscellaneous,
You're down too far.
Well, you had 1,020 and, right? Is that where you are?
No, line,
3099
No.
miscellaneous?
1299.
5501.
Wrong page.
Here.
Administration versus operations and maintenance.
All right, wrong section.
This one.
Up, I go up.
Miscellaneous.
Now I'm trying to follow
You
you.
know what? No, I got lost. I was looking, miscellaneous right there, 0501.
Correct.
$12.99, yeah.
Well, 22 was almost
I don't
$1,000
have that page.
budget. 700, right? Is that the one? No, I'm up a line.
You're up a line.
Oh, I need a ruler or something.
Here.
No, I got it. I'm just looking over this and looking over that. And
But again, miscellaneous doesn't matter, right?
Sorry?
Miscellaneous doesn't matter. Again,
Oh, that's a
because,
statement.
no, but because
Serious.
we can,
$500, right, Chip?
It really just catches the overflow.
it catches the overflow, so.
500.
I'm smiling.
I know,
You guys would like me to put in 500? I will put in 500. Sounds good, Chairman?
I don't have that at all.
Great. Is there any extras that went that way?
What are you looking for?
Mount View? Okay.
Veterans graves, we have been giving $700 every year. And we have not heard anything if there was an increase, so this
I think
goes
that should
towards
stay.
health of, okay, $700?
Right.
Okay.
We haven't made the 2022 payment.
No, we make that early spring.
Based just on the, on the next line,
Yep,
does it make sense for us to actually adjust for what seems to be the reality?
the grave repurchase.
Yeah, can we just like bump it up to, I mean, most actuals are gonna be clearing $1,000, yet we keep budgeting 350? Should we just acknowledge, is there a good reason to keep it at 350 when we keep going over?
Make a motion, you want 1,000?
Just until it changes.
So would you like me to put 1,000 in there? Okay.
I didn't write down, I'm sorry, the 5.9 on the top, what were they, that you had for the,
So the part-time wages, which is 5501,
yep,
I have put it up to 9540.
9540, okay.
The one below it, 5501, I put it up to $3,172,
72,
which is a decrease from FY '22. I've done actuals, and it's gonna be $61 per pay period for that, so. And then the FICA and Medicare will be $972.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't write it down when you said it. and-
Okay. Electricity, again, the town manager is bumping all of the electricity
What did you recommend?
lines.
600.
I would say 600, just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Which line?
Look, under here,
Or-
electricity, 1515.
Would 600 be okay, Chip?
Yep.
Okay.
And electricity,
600, yeah.
Can I make a motion to increase the next line, water, to 550? Is that a trend? Is that a reasonable? I'm basing that just on 430.
Yeah, the water fees have gone up.
Yeah, so.
If they're gonna be cleaning stones, they're probably.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good, because if they're gonna be grabbing off too, we might even wanna go up higher than that.
550 is
550? Okay.
Is that, actually, is that what you think this increase, because it wasn't too bad the prior 2 years we were under. Is it that increased work that they were doing in the fall that's driven this up?
No, I don't think
Probably
they-
some leaks.
yeah, probably.
Coupled with the rate increases,
They did not do any cleaning this fall.
that was, I guess, so they didn't with any water? Okay.
And just mind you, we're at $430 expended, and this was as of the beginning of January, so we still have 6 months to go.
So you're gonna go to 80.
Not that anything happens in the winter. You can't,
Weird billing
May
cycle?
and June though.
What is it, there's a galvanized pipe buried up there?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, and the lawn
Fiscal
mowers
year.
hit a couple of them this year.
This is all fiscal year, not,
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
but
goes through
they
June 30th.
bill quarterly. I didn't know if like it
Plastic.
Yeah,
all irons out on the
Yeah.
annual basis, but anyway, it's
And we don't,
550 sounds fine.
Probably not down very deep either, right?
No.
pulls back the activity into the fiscal year that we need to, but it all backtracks itself.
Yeah,
It's,
at the end of
we
the
get
audit.
4 quarters out of each year.
Yes.
At the end of the day. So,
So is 550 gonna cover that then?
Yeah,
yeah, but it doesn't matter. Again.
we'll have others to move around a little bit
Yeah.
anyway.
And we're fine if we go over, I'm just.
Exactly.
It's
You
a,
don't- you
yeah,
don't-
but it's like a good planning, it's like a planning
Agreed, but-
thing. Too many budgets where you keep junk numbers in there and then it's 5 years and you've been building on junk number, and that's how you get to, like increase it $750 to just acknowledge reality.
tree maintenance, we should have most of the tree maintenance done except for the shrubs and
Pretty
bushes, but.
much, we have one more birch
Okay.
tree that should come down.
So that. Now, were we able to get anything on the storm damage for the FEMA?
Waiting, right?
we were waiting, but it didn't seem very promising that we would hit the threshold.
Town didn't hit the dollar value?
It goes through the county.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, it's the county and it's the other towns who are not keeping accounts.
Right.
We did our part, but the other guys didn't.
It's
basically.
happened before.
Yeah.
So probably 4,000 again on that.
Yeah. See what happens.
I mean, open graves, you never know, but there aren't many left up there to open, right?
No, but that's for both of them,
Still a
so.
lot left to open,
But
there's not
that's,
left many to sell.
Right. So with,
10,000 again?
no, I was thinking with the increase in fees, we're up to 12,000?
Yeah.
12,000?
Yes, it's
It is, it's all guesstimate.
So you're gonna have a revenue line to offset that?
That's what I was kind of looking for.
There is a revenue line to offset that,
It's called the stock market.
and we just need to update it with the 25.
Well, I know that,
Increase.
but,
So there
okay.
is, yeah,
Yep. That should come,
it should come right out of the
that
fees.
should be right there as well, 12,000.
So there must be, carryover money from last year, because it only used 40,000 of the 54, or no? I looked at it this wrong.
Which one are you?
40,000 for what, John?
You've got stone restoration, 3051, and it was budgeted 54,915.
But he says he will be done by Memorial Day.
You expect to use the whole
He'd have
54?
the rest of that 54,000.
Right.
You have to ask Randy.
So what percentage has he done now? How far is he now? Half, third, or
30%.
30%?
Wow. Not really, because he's got 3 sections to go down through until he gets to the toe, right? And he did the upper section. So he's probably,
He spent 12 at this point.
Right.
Well, 11.9, yeah.
Okay, so it's 25%, if you look at the numbers. He billed out according to what he felt he had done, so.
So how much are we putting for?
Bottom line, and I'm just a numbers guy, he gave us a bid 54,000. I can pretty much say by the end of Memorial Day, the bill's gonna come in for 54,000 total.
Okay, so how much outside of that do we anticipate doing next year?
It's what, whether we get the pricing and go to the next section, whether we want to put in a number, to do a little more.
Well, it looks like right around $5,000 has been for a while,
that
45.
doesn't really go very far, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, it depends on how much we want to do. One of the things we talked about last year is going ahead and trying this, doing this restoration project, see how it came out, see how that affected our overall budget. I mean, we spent a lot of money, between,
Well, I agree with you, but the next plan would be to do another section, correct? Correct. So you bid that section out.
that section out.
Thank you.
So, but this is just for the stuff that goes on during the year.
No, this would be, what do we want to bid next year? Do we want to bid another
50,000?
50,000, or? do we-
I'd like to see us keep going. I really would, because we need to.
Let's put 58,000 in there.
Because we've been a long time
Yep.
not doing it. You said the town maintenance was 44,600?
Yes.
Well, it's gonna have a nice increase on it. Sorry, town will pay the rest. Sophie's here, she knows.
I'm
We got 2 liaisons now, so maybe they can double up and get double the money.
Forgot about, good point.
So miscellaneous under operations and maintenance.
We already talked about this.
Nope.
No,
No, I know, I just where it was before. I'd say another 1,000,
Yeah.
$1,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
because there's been a 950.
And if we're gonna be throwing more work around your way and all the other accoutrement, you're gonna need your own accoutrement, so I can see that cascading with all the additional stuff we're doing there.
We're probably gonna have to trim this up again.
Yeah.
So this is the first whack. Perpetual care flowers.
This is for Memorial Day, prettying up the,
When they run over them with lawnmowers?
Yeah, some of the window boxes, well, actually,
That's some trust
It
that we
is
get to go
that.
around and put flowers out for.
and there's,
Pillars that have planters.
Is there any money left in those trusts?
No idea.
Those professional, a lot of them were $5 back in the
Back in the
40s.
day, yeah.
That money's gone a long time
And it
ago.
was only intended so the grass didn't grow up around your monument.
Right,
That's
Yeah,
what
maybe that's
perpetual
where we
care
got some
was.
of that $1 million from too, that could have been bigger.
yeah. No,
Yeah, it makes sense to keep that at 600.
I don't know, that line maybe should, not that I have,
But, no, that's-
that line should probably go up some because,
price of flowers is going.
exactly.
$800?
And the labor that they charge to,
okay,
yeah.
800.
Does it make any sense to consider not now, but this perpetual care flowers being rolled into that garden
No.
expense? No? Okay, thank you. Good to go. Appreciate it.
What was that?
Problem solved. Nope, we're moving on. Here we
The
go.
garden is only for Oak Hill.
Gotcha.
To have it professionally cared for.
Too much this year though, did they?
You just didn't notice that. Is
Oh,
that,
yeah.
is that detailed?
capital improvement.
Owen, back up, so come down. Jeez.
I've missed you, John.
I can tell.
I have. Gets lonely.
What did capital improvements cover?
Well, in the past, we've spent $9,000 on grub remediation, and they have budgeted for $10,000 for this current year to continue that in the spring. Now, I think, you guys have talked about the stone restoration, and that kind of is a capital improvement. So I'm wondering if we should move that down to there, just to have it as noteworthy. It's up to you guys, but.
I was kind of on the same, because we've talked about some GIS and some software and this and that, and I know software, it's hard to put.
So you're saying move that whole 50,000 down to capital improvement?
Unless you want to keep some in there for just maintenance. But the meat of the 3 more sections that we're gonna be doing, that we're contracting to do,
Keep that total
probably a
separate.
good idea to put in your capital improvements.
Where would the paving come from?
That would come from capital, that'd be Oak Hill capital improvement.
So we gotta put 35,000 in that line?
was Oak Hill, not?
Correct.
So do you want to zero out the stone restoration in the operation and maintenance?
No, I think we ought to keep a minimal, in case you have to go in and do,
Pick up stones. they
pick
get
up
knocked
stones, that get knocked over.
It was $4,500.
So about 2,500 and then move 50, then the 50 down to the capital improvements.
So 4,500 in the stone restoration, right?
Want to be 25 or 45?
Let's do 25.
2,500, okay.
25.
You feel comfortable with that?
Do what I can do.
And stone
If
restoration.
it goes
Yeah,
over, it
yeah,
goes over, but
yeah,
it probably
yeah.
won't.
Yeah.
This would be right here where stone restoration, we had 50,000.
Yeah,
Now it's going to be 2,500.
25.
Right, and then the 50,000 is going to go down here to, what is it? Alview
Capital
Cemetery?
improvements, yeah. 5510, 1252,
510?
1252. That's the code, that's the account.
Let's go. So it's 50,000 though.
Right.
Now, do you anticipate buying a new lawnmower in town this year? Because that would be capital if we had to,
I'm
right?
gonna confidently say no.
Maintenance, yeah.
We do
No,
not
okay.
need a new lawnmower.
Is the paving going?
Yep, that's gonna be an Oak Hill, 35,000.
Under capital?
35,000, okay.
That'd be Oak Hill North?
Correct. Yep.
35. What, wind's picking up?
Is there a reason for keeping that under development, that wall reserve? We keeping it for historical purpose? I don't know why it's in there but hasn't been funded.
Well, it's just, it's got to be built eventually.
Wall was built.
What, with the shrubs? With the,
The boulders.
right? And then they use those,
Rugosa roses.
right? No, I'm talking about the marks of driveways, you know what I mean? Thing Jimmy Kiss had built.
The pillars.
Built it.
Yeah, yep, that was all part of all that.
So conceptually,
That could go.
1255 can go?
So that's an allowed use? I thought they wanted a fence or something on that originally. They're okay with the rock? Okay. No, that's fine, I'm good.
No, originally that's what it was, but it's so expensive to do the wall
Oh, yeah.
that's when they went up, and did the boulders.
Probably minimum $100,000 or more to put a wall length of that property.
Now it'd be a lot more than that.
Yeah. I'm being kind,
You think?
yeah.
If you can find someone to do it.
Mason right beside you,
There you go.
free labor.
You guys work
We'll
cut out
just
for
throw-
you. You got another project going on.
I know.
I have a question.
Sure.
Going back to administration, 1299 miscellaneous, I know we bumped that up. I'm just wanting us to be nimble. I know we have finances, but when you budget something, it's like that commitment it makes when you do the expense makes sense. Where would we put any software program expense, anything
That'd be a capital
around the
project,
GIS or the mapping?
That'd be a capital.
Well, based on, it kind of, I
That's
don't know
why-
if we want, yeah, no, we got to put it somewhere.
I don't know, where do you want
Like
to
with
put it?
capital improvements, a CIP is normally like, if it's over $5,000, great. We would do it, I would want to put it in the capital improvement, but if we're looking for something less than that, I don't
It's
have no
will-
idea what these are gonna cost.
It'll be more.
Okay.
Yeah, it
So
will
Say
be.
five would
we
be
can,
lucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if we're anticipating to do that in FY '23, then we should add a line to that.
I'll just figure out how much the maintenance on it's gonna be every year.
Usually it's just a subscription, annual
Yeah.
user something or other, like that's what Trio does. And
It's not,
based
because it's
on how
not
much you-
bespoke, so
Yeah,
just buy the upgrade.
yeah. They plan for it to be broke, that's why you pay them at the end of the year for
Yeah.
the new version.
So maybe we'll have some numbers, we'll have some better numbers for the next meeting. And just a
What
ballpark.
should I call it, just new software? Or-
Cemetery software?
What are you thinking, 10,000, something like that?
I'm thinking probably at least 10,000. I mean, I'm not sure without.
Would that be software?
Include money for the intern, money for the
I have no idea.
software, money for, or is that just software?
Software.
Okay.
Would that be for both?
And because I would think that the
facilities?
town would expect us to foot the bill on
Would that
a,
be for both cemeteries?
Yes.
Well, it depends,
Redwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
depends on how far it went. I
This
mean,
wouldn't
if
be
it's
the
just
same software that the
Starting
county
the software up,
have bought.
there again,
by any
those are
chance?
projects that multi-year, so
The
you don't know what you
cemetery
need until you get,
software, I haven't looked.
GIS in general.
find out what we got.
well,
Yeah, but sometimes whoever owns it has restrictions on how far it could go.
Right.
Out of the office.
Yeah.
where we've got that flexibility to know if we could build the, let's anticipate into it.
Yeah, I'd rather have some more information, you know, for
Oh, I don't know.
what are we talking software?
Of that.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna meet again, go over this clean version.
Definitely
for-
throw 10,000 in that right now.
No, that's good.
Just
No,
for
that's
talk
good.
for- Hold her,
I do pay attention. once in a
10,000?
while.
capital.
Hey, can I throw out 15 just to see what the
Yeah.
numbers net? We'll throw out 15 instead of 10.
15, because 10 isn't gonna
It
work.
accommodates for the other unknowns.
These are
We're not in
preliminary
South
numbers.
Thompson anymore. We just throw money like,
Let's not
you know, your
Get
budget.
down in the weeds because these are only preliminary.
Yeah, we don't-
Of all the different town compare and contrast that you could do, Jonathan, you want to do town of Camden and South Thomaston as far as spend happy taxi willy nillys.
There we go.
Wow.
15,000.
Jeez.
Computer, software, I guess.
You guys got trust funds bigger than our annual budget. I'm not exaggerating.
that's why
They've
they've
been very
grown, that's why
fortunate.
they've grown too.
Yeah, we did.
But they're very fortunate. We have been very fortunate for
I
people.
love how I still speak it as though I'm there.
So sometimes you feel like you're still there.
You're gonna tally up this whole thing and tell us we just went with a 197% increase?
Your increase is 18.49.
That's all? I figured it'd be a lot more than
Wait,
that.
but were the increases in the recently?
This is a gross number.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
we're gonna work on the net now.
So what's the number with what we got?
Say that again? What
What is-
number? 181,934.
181, 934? Yeah, we really need to keep on fixing that, because, you know, make it look nice. Again,
What?
the Oak Hill, I mean, Mount View.
Okay, revenue. Well,
Okay, where, did we
Grave openings,
open graves 12?
12,000, yeah.
I feel like we should
Do I
talk to
have
the
a
Rotary and get them to put wreaths up for us. They put them on all the
I've got expense,
lights.
revenue, there we go, we're on it.
Rotary did that?
Yeah. Because, I mean, they're doing it for the town anyway. They do it in Public Works.
That's expense. There you go. Open
So-
bridge, 12,000.
The 12,
But
we're
makes-
currently budgeting 14.3. Why would we go down in open? graves if we're raising the rate.
We're raising the rate, so it should go
Yeah,
up.
we don't want to go up.
Okay, 15,000 then? For a round number, for now. How many grave opens are typically done in a year?
Oh,
Right here.
there weren't many this year, probably 7, traditional burials, but cremations we had.
Yeah.
Everything they got a lot.
Tomb phase, you say we only had one? in the
We've got
tomb?
one in, I doubt we'll have more than 10 tops,
More than how many?
10, if we're lucky.
So you think that 1,100
What-
revenue is good?
I think so.
What's the, is there a rate for, oh, I see it, sorry. I get it.
So what do we do in opening graves?
15,000.
15,000.
And tomb fees?
1,100 left alone. We said 10, we went up $25, right?
Not for the, not for the,
For the tomb fees, right? That's $100 a body.
I got a question. Not that I care one way or the other. On the rates page, so you have the rate for opening the grave, and the rates are then split. Town receives, sexton receives. On the revenues side, does that account for both town and sexton summed together, or is that just what the town receives?
Oh, do we pay Sexton? Is it in
well,
revenue and
actually, the
expense?
sexton doesn't receive that anymore, because probably should say contractor, because
Because that was my question, I mean, okay.
Ben Pratt's digging now, and I'm not digging also.
So the revenues accounted maybe for the town, but then there's an offsetting expense,
Still a contractor.
and then the language might want to just reflect that it's not you doing it anymore.
Small backhoe?
Yes. Yep.
That's been working out good with Ben?
So far. Like I say, he didn't have many either.
Yeah.
So the next one is Oak Hill South grave sales, and we've already taken in $1,700. We budgeted 500. It looks like, how many available there? I don't know a lot about graves or any of that, so I'm just,
That number makes no sense.
do we have available spaces there that we know?
Oh, good, you're gonna better sales.
What was the question again?
Well, we anticipated $500 in Oak Hill South grave sales over the past 2 years.
Okay.
FY '21, we took in $1,190 for grave sales for Oak Hill South. And then this year, we were, just through January, we've taken in $1,700.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to raise that anticipation?
Probably should.
What do you think, put it up to 1,000,
Probably go 1,200.
1,200?
Yeah,
Well, the actual is 1,700, you said, right?
yeah.
So far this year, yes, yeah, the fiscal year,
And the year's not over.
right.
If I remember right, there's potential for 900 graves on that side,
No, this is the south.
on the south side. I didn't think there was anything left on the south.
There are some.
But the north, I would think, would increase that. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry for leaving early. I have to drive to Rumford and then back. Yeah, I'm trying to equip all the kids with ski stuff. So my sister's out that way. Unanticipated. Thank you all. You got it under control. I see that glimmer in your eye. It says dollars and cents. I'm trusting you. Keep him in line, please, and thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Owen.
Hi, Owen.
Carefully.
Bye, Owen.
Bye, Jonathan.
What's Owen do?
I'm not sure. What is he doing now? Owen, what are you doing now?
I'm a stonemason.
Okay. How's that? I don't know.
Granite, Portugal granite.
Yeah,
I'm consulting.
okay.
Oak Hill North, what do we decide?
Put that up to 1,000?
I would say at least, yes.
Yeah, do 1,000 there, and
Kind of where I'm pushing more people towards now, because Mountain View's full, so.
Now, up there on the north side, there's a bench put in?
We did have a bench put in.
Is that in place of a monument? Okay.
remember I brought that up? Yeah, see?
I think where you got a copy of the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that one? With the bench?
That was Scott Weed. I think it was Scott.
There's a few over there now.
Right. Actually, that monument, the upright section's pretty well sold out,
Yeah.
for the most part.
So what happens when it's sold out, when you don't have any room? Do we keep those graves in perpetuity, or is there a point where we remove the remains, or what?
No, we
what's
don't remove the rings, no, they're
So
there.
I'm asking that because in my country we do.
They stay. Once
Yeah.
you're there, they're there.
Once they're there, they stay forever.
You're a resident of Camden forever.
If you
They pay taxes?
If you sell the lot,
Right, if you sell the
it
lot,
doesn't
right.
belong to the town anymore, in
Right.
theory.
There is a plan
It
to
does.
back another road.
It's maintained by the
Oh,
town.
we sell the rights.
Isn't there a plan to go back another road?
Got it. It's like a condo.
There's enough room for
Right.
the master plan, and then there's another plan to take it out through the rest of the 40 acres out there,
Oh, the old gravel pit?
behind there.
Yeah.
Yep. That was all purchased by the town for a cemetery.
Yes, I know. But I heard a number, it was like 900 graves on that side at one time, that's what I heard years ago, what they estimated.
Yeah, I think I got some plans that show, yeah.
And that was before cremation was a big thing. So what are we gonna do in the other one? Two, you say? The one up on the,
1,000.
one we have 1740 on?
No, we did that already. We
With
bumped
1,200.
that to 12,
1,200, that's what I'm thinking,
but
1,000.
north, we're going 1,000, right?
We could probably bump it up more than that, but
Is it?
1,200 as well?
12 and 12?
I think so.
Okay,
1,200?
1,200.
Well, yeah, each
You
one.
gotta think every sale is minimum 300 or 550. You only have to sell 3 to cover that.
And the perpetual care receipts,
Those go straight into the trust.
yeah, so we don't need to account for that, or?
So basically now, to make up the difference is what we would be pulling from the trust funds,
Okay.
which is, right now, $163,434
From both, though.
from both. And the income is 75% Mount View, 25% Oak Hill. So,
So it's 25% of 181,000, no,
163,000.
163? What is that?
John, hold on.
You always used to have those numbers just like that.
No, I'm slipping.
Yes.
I had COVID in November, and my brain is not the same, and I'm not even kidding you.
Brain fog, huh?
It's beyond brain fog. So 40,858.50. Let's see.
That's Oak Hill,
Yes.
40,858.
40,858. And the rest will be Mount View, which is 122,576.
But that should probably be tuned out a little better because of the Mountain View project and the Oak Hill project. 35,000 for Oak Hill should come out of the Oak Hill Trust.
Yeah,
And the stone restoration should come out of,
Okay. I will,
so, I mean,
yeah.
there again, that's just a little,
Yep. So I'll rough those numbers up, and I'll make sure that the right amount comes out of the the trust.
town appropriation, which we put in, what, 44,000?
Town appropriation
Right.
is 0.
I know.
Town maintenance contract is 44.6.
It's down from what we had in 2020. We have any carry forward?
I'm not anticipating any carry forwards for you guys.
Well, to be the carry forward from the project's not done yet, right?
Well, if the stone restoration doesn't, then yes.
Yeah.
That would just be carried forward to the stone
Right,
restoration.
that's 40, about 40 grand.
No, because it should be done by Memorial Day,
Done by
Right, but it's a
Memorial.
different year, right?
No,
No.
as long as they
Right.
bill us by June
by
30th.
June 31st.
Yeah, that's right.
And even the way our auditors are, the work was performed in FY '22, they will track it back to FY '22 for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't there $5,000 that the select board put in there a year or so ago for stone restoration?
I believe we
Or was that
have,
just talk and never made it
no, I
in?
think we have a cemetery reserved on the general fund side. Let me just.
That would be in the general fund budget?
Yep.
They must hide that one good.
No, they don't.
How
5,000.
they do that?
It says cemetery.
I don't even remember that one.
You weren't a select
You
board
showed
member.
them how to do that.
Allison brought that up at a town meeting and got it put in
For
right.
FY '20, you guys have $5,000 in the town side as a reserve.
So how do we get that brought from that account to this account?
That would be an expense authorized by the select board.
Yeah,
Okay, so maybe we'll
But
put
it was approved by town budget, right? Already approved.
Yep, but it's, the select board have to vote to spend out of reserves,
Yeah.
the general fund reserves.
So
you have to have an
we're,
expense.
so when we
against
get
it.
Gotta
the,
write a check.
No, you have to have an expense against it.
so when we get the next bill on the restoration, we'll just ask the select board to use that.
$5 grand.
If you would like to go to the select board, then absolutely.
We already have.
Our liaisons,
Liaison
our
right there.
liaisons will, two
Well,
liaisons will
it
do
takes
that.
3 of them, so.
It's three of
Yeah,
us,
but
yeah.
she's already gonna tell them that we need the money.
You don't need the money. Don't get there. Spend it first, then tell me
I'm
what
not
you
quite
want.
sure when it was,
Yeah.
what the root reason was for creating it. I could check with Audra, she would know. But I know Allison was the one that was talking.
It was for, yes, for stone
It
restoration.
was before this
Yeah.
was done.
Okay. Great, well, thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely, John.
Anybody have anything else?
Thank you so much.
Motion to adjourn? All in favor, all opposed, so voted.